This time I call the April 13th regular meeting of the County Commission to order. I'm going to ask the county attorney if he would give the invocation and Commissioner Collins to pledge allegiance to the flag.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, again we come before you today to do the business of the citizens of Lincoln County. We ask that everything we do, we consider what is best for the citizens of Lincoln County. We ask that you give us your wisdom and your discernment to know what is right for the folks of Lincoln County. We ask your blessings on each and every individual who has come here tonight, Lord, that if they have something that needs to be said, they express it, and we all come together and work together for the good of the county of Lincoln. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
His office not in.
I asked the clerk if she would make a change in what I said. I said the April meeting of the County Commission, and let it be known this is the August 13th, 2020 meeting of the County Commission. Thank you, Commissioner Collins. I'm glad it's at least passed.
Oh, I always get a kick out of being able to point out your errors.
I understand. It's pretty frequent. Okay, item number 6 on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion that we approve the minutes that's been sent to you the previous meetings?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Wade. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item 6 is the approval of the agenda. Now, a motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item number 6, we begin on departmental reports. 6A is the Office of Emergency Services, Director Breen.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as always, it's a pleasure to be here. Y'all have my written report. I have nothing to add at this point, and will certainly entertain any questions that I might answer for you.
Any questions for Director Breen?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Collins.
Last month, we voted to purchase 3 heart monitors.
Yes, sir.
Are they here?
No, sir. We are applied for a USDA grant loan to pay for those items. That process has begun.
Would you tell them I'm in a hurry?
Yeah, I will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The ones we have are certified and working fine right now.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to comment. It looks like
Commissioner Clyde.
the number of calls up a good bit, aren't they?
Yes, sir. We
According to this.
bounced way up. We were in the low 90s through April, May, and June, and then in July we hit 134. We're coming back up to our. That's above a normal number for us. We're usually in the 120s in a normal year, but this is obviously is not a normal year. So.
Is that the reason for it?
I think, yes, sir. I think that COVID-19 is responsible for a lot of the calls that we are having. We're not transporting everyone we contact with COVID, and but we're getting calls to come and check. Just come and check me, because a lot of the patients and your wife, she's not here tonight, but she would attest to it. They treat them in the hospital and they just send them home. And they tell them to quarantine, and if your pulse ox go, they tell them to purchase a pulse oximeter. The little thing goes on your finger, tells you how much oxygen. If it goes below 90, they're supposed to call us. Well, believe it or not, those little things, some people can't afford them. and then we wind up getting called to check them out. But our transports have gone up.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So, but you do not have the ability to do the SWOT test or,
We do not. The health department has been testing 50 people every Monday since the first Monday in July. Her bosses, Hillary Daniel, I'm speaking of, who is lead on this whole thing, and they have told her she needs to test 100 people a week. However, this past Monday, she had 50 slots for tests and only 14 people arrived to have the test.
is this an instant test?
No, sir. This is what's called this is a deep swab of the nasal and oral pharynx.
How long does it take to get the result back? Do you know,
The
Casey?
fastest I've seen it come back from that particular testing site is 48 hours. There are some faster tests being administered at drugstores and different places.
I got a question, Mr. Chairman.
I know, just a comment, I know that it's neither here nor there with us, but in the Pierce County schools, they're taking students somewhere in Waycross and have them tested and determined positive, like in a matter of minutes.
There are some tests out there that are, if you go to a pharmacy, certain pharmacy, not to give a commercial for them, I'm not going to call their name, they'll hand you a self-test kit, and you can swab your cheek, put it in there, and give it to them, and they say those come back fast. Now, my question is, how effective is the outcome of that test? But anyway, we're getting deep in the grass on that stuff.
Have a question about Commissioner Wade.
Director, I think you may have answered this a little bit earlier, but just looking at, when the residents look at 141 cases tested,
There are actually, that was updated at 3 o'clock today. This was as of the report that I prepared for y'all. We have 154 known cases, 5 deaths, and 22 hospitalized today.
well, at one time, we had 10.
Yes,
Why do you may have answered this a few minutes ago, but why do you think we got such a jump in our county? in
I
those
think
numbers?
the cases are bona fide cases. They're probably more than actual 151, but the availability of testing has greatly increased in the last month and a half. And the criteria, early in March, in order to even be tested, you have to be exhibiting certain symptoms before they would even test you.
Right.
Whereas now, they're trying to test, they opened 2 mega testing sites in Metro Atlanta with a goal of testing 5,000 people per day per site. Now, I don't know how that's working for them, but there's a reason for it. The tests are available, and there's a lot of options for folks to go get tested. I think that has a lot to do with it. But like I said, the DPH is the lead on that, and you can go to their website and get it updates every day at around 3:30 p.m. I'm looking for 2 weeks with flat numbers. Hillary and I are, and then we know, and I think we're close. We're close. I hope.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions, Director Broom? Director Broom, you may be excused. I know you need to go. I'm gonna do a parliamentarian procedure right quick. I'm going to remind the commissioners of the decorum of what we do. If the commissioner has a question that they would like to ask, address it to me. The chair will recognize you. Once you are recognized, you're able to speak for as long as you want to. When you complete your speaking, then I'll call on the other commissioner. I'm going to ask that you don't ask questions again until he is finished. Ask again to be recognized. I will recognize you and you can keep going. And the reason I'm saying that is we're getting into too much going to the other. If we don't follow the decorum of what we do and it gets out of hand, then we might as well not have decorum. So I'm going to ask you to please address your questions to me. You will be recognized. I'll call on you. You have the right to speak any and every time you want to for as long as you want to. But when another commissioner has the floor, you have relinquished the floor until you're recognized again. Okay, with that said, we are moving on to Recreation Department. Director Glaze.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You have my written report in front of you. Do we have any questions for it?
Any questions, Director Glaze, on his report? I think most of it we've discussed with you at the work session. Any questions, Director Glaze? If not, Director Glaze, you can be excused if you want to, too, and you're welcome to sit over there with Director Seymour.
Thank you,
Item
sir.
C is the Finance Department, Director Arnett.
Yes, sir, Chairman and Commissioners, you have my written reports. If you have any questions, I'll answer.
You have financial report from the Director Arnett. Is there any questions to her? If not, we'll proceed to item 6D, the Public Works Department, Director Seymour.
Chairman, members of the board, you have my written reports. Don't have anything to add to those at this point. Unless you have some questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those at this time.
Any questions, Director Seymour? If not, we'll move right on. That concludes the departmental reports. Director Seymour, you cannot leave. You are still on the agenda. Item Director Glaze 2, I'm sorry. My bad. Commissioner Collins, would you like to correct me on that?
No, Mr. Chairman, I don't think I have any more to say tonight.
Okay. All right, resolution condemning racism and violence, Reverend Fry. Reverend Fry here.
No, sir, he's not here.
Reverend Fry.
He's not here.
Okay, item 7 on your agenda, you have a proposed resolution for your consideration from the Global Race Unity Incorporated. Reverend Fry is not here. I think it would be appropriate that we table this to a later date, and I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Wade. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Number 8, splash pad roof, Director Glaze.
Chairman, Board of Commissioners, you have my splash pad rules. We are asking for approval. And hopefully everything goes through.
Director Glaze, you will also include the rental policy in this too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what we have before you, we have talked to him about it at the work session, is the Recreation Board sent this to us through Director Glaze. I think we're all familiar with the rules and the rental policies. Is there a motion that we adopt them?
I made that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Clyde.
Thank you, sir. The only question I had after we talked and everything, and I like the rules and glad that a board worked together to come up with good ones. At 10 o'clock at night, what happens? I mean, do you have to go out there personally to close this thing
Right
down?
now I'll go, but I'll turn the key over to the deputies and they'll be sure to lock everything down as far as the control room doors. Yes, sir. That's
The
like
sheriff's
that.
deputies?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right, I wondered about it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, Director Glaze? There being none. Director Glaze, now, you stay or leave, it's up to you. Number 9 is the updated GDOT contract. Director Blunt met with us on this.
Chairman, we need a vote.
Huh?
We need a vote for the rules.
We didn't vote on
No, we had
Had a
a
discussion
motion
or
and a
something,
second.
we never
We
voted.
got a motion and a second.
Yes, sir, that's right.
All in favor of the, slipping, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion carried. Now, we got an update on GDOT contract with Transit, Lincoln County Transit. Director Blunt has met with us and discussed this with us. She was excused. Basically, I'll ask the clerk just for the record to tell us what we do.
Yes, sir, we're amending the, what is it called? It's called the procurement policy manual for GDOT. What it is they're changing their thresholds for the micro purchase from 3,000 to 10,000. Their small purchase from
10 to
10,000 up to 2,500? No, $250,000. And their formal purchases for large to anything over 250,000.
We passed this policy a few months back, and the department, GDOT has asked that we amend the policy that we passed and include this up those limits. Some, it's not anything that's gonna cost us any money or take any revenues away. It's just a little housekeeping order of what they wanna do on changing those numbers, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
You heard the numbers, you have it in your book. Is there a motion that we adopt the amended resolution?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Wade. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just briefly, on the last page, the signature page, it still lists Commissioner Virginia Williams as a commissioner. If that could also be amended to reflect Commissioner Henderson.
Okay, we'll ask the clerk to make that adjustment.
Yes, sir, I've done that. For the one for you to sign has the correct name.
Okay. All right.
A vote?
All in favor of the motion, let me know, saying aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 10 is surplus vehicles, Director Seymour.
Commissioner, Chairman, I have a list of surplus equipment that we have accumulated over the last couple of years that is housed at the county shop on Petersburg Road that I asked y'all to surplus so that we can have a surplus equipment auction at some point here in the near future out at the county shop. And so I need a vote for y'all to surplus this equipment for us.
Okay, do we add these two on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got two just added to the original list. We asked the clerk to revise that list in the morning and add these two to
Yes,
the
sir.
Yes, sir.
to the list, then we'll notify the paper and we'll set up a time that when this will
Yes,
be
sir.
done. We'll clean up out there a little bit. All right, is there a motion that we accept these vehicles and declare them all as surplus property and advertise it for sale?
I move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Tide. Any discussion on the motion?
I hate to ask.
Commissioner Clyde,
I just.
you have the floor, sir. Long as
Thank
you
you,
want.
thank you. I'll make it quick. I was just wondering, when these funds, which I know we're not gonna be talking about a lot of money on some old equipment and all that, just go back into the general fund, is that what it does?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, I just wondered. Thank you.
We have a line item in the budget too of surplus equipment, so
All right.
I think we had some revenue that we didn't have the sale last year, so we didn't quite meet it, but like I said, not a lot of money, $3,000 or $4,000, I think,
Right.
in the last one. Good question. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known, saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 11 is seal coat paving, recreation, and ag building parking lot, Director Seymour.
Yes, sir. We talked about this in the work session a little bit. The parking lots out at the Recreation Department, the existing parking lots are about 12 years old, and they're starting to show some wears and some cracks and some fading, some blonding, as we call it, and also the lines are just about gone. So I got a price from a company in Augusta to do what we call seal coating, which goes in and seals that asphalt, brings it back to life, seals all the cracks, restripe all of the parking at the upper and the lower parking lot. And then, of course, we're gonna add the walking track as well. The price you have in here does not include the walking track, so I'd ask that we do approximately $13,487, and then whatever the track would be, which would be I wouldn't think it would be very much more, so give us a little leeway on that. And then also, the ag building, currently that driveway going into the ag building and the front parking is gravel. So we're asking that y'all approve approximately $35,000 for us to pave that driveway as well as the parking area in the front, which would accommodate about 18 parking spots out front. We wouldn't do anything to the sides or to the rear. They would stay gravel as it stands now until a later date. If we decide to pave that later, we can come back and do that. So the motion would be to ask for the seal coating and the restriping of the existing parking lots plus approximately $35,000 to pave the ag center's parking lot and driveway.
Plus the walking track.
Plus the
Is
walking
there a
track.
motion that we adopt the request from the Director Seymour?
Yes, sir, I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, is Commissioner Wade, is there a second?
I'll second, Mr.
Second by
Chairman.
Commissioner Collins, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Could you inform me and this board as to why you added the walking track at this late hour?
Yes, sir. When I presented this at the work session, it was brought to my attention by a commissioner that walks
Could you
out.
tell what commissioner that was, please?
Yes, sir. It would be Commissioner Collins, who frequents that track in the early mornings. Said that it's got some wear, some cracking, and we needed some attention to that track as well. So I've
Yeah,
added
I
that.
understand you, Director Seymour, to say that he frequently uses that track.
Yes, sir.
Is it not true then that he has put a lot of the wear and tear on that?
That would be correct, sir. Yes.
Would it be appropriate that we ask for a donation from Commissioner
I
Collins?
think it would be very appropriate. I think it would be very appropriate. Yes, sir.
I'll leave that up to you and you try to enforce that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you did say that this is coming out of T-Splosh.
That is correct. It would all be funded out of T-Splosh.
With that said, is there any comments from any of the commissioners? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, the motion's carried. Before we hit the gavel, I want to mention something that I hope that each and every one of you in this room will help spread the word. I hope the Lincoln Journal will help spread the word, and whoever watches by way of video or YouTube. Lincoln County is way behind on our census. And it is very, very important that we try to get as correct as numbers of the citizens of Lincoln County as possible. We're really down statewide. I understand we're about 57, 58%. Well, we're 59.1% is what is the average, is the national average. It's only 51.9% of the people are being counted. You know, everyone counts. We need to get them all, and we have until September the 30th to respond to these deadlines. And they said in the work that I got today, the paperwork I got today, that we need to post it on the county's website, social media pages. Director Dockery, if you will make a note of that, clerk, if you'll remind me.
If you'll announce, I have
We can't hear you, sir.
Chairman and Commissioners, I was going to add that on the website for the public to hear, at the very bottom, there's a census shortcut that people can go to and cast their ballot, or to be able to fill out the form.
If we could, Director Dockery, I've seen a logo, I might have it on my desk, a logo that they're using for the census. Maybe we need to flash that up.
Put it higher on the website.
Yeah, we need to we need to really focus some attention to it. And I would like for you every few days, maybe to hit it on the county's
On Facebook.
Facebook page. And I'll get with you in the morning, but we also have some things that they can do. It's 3 ways that they can be counted. Online, we've got the web number for them to do that. You can also do it over the telephone. You can call, and we have a 800 number that people can call. We need to get that out to them. Or by filling out and returning the official U.S. Census paraphernalia they sent to your homes. It can be done that way. So they're just trying to get us all where we can get the whole, we're concerned about Lincoln County's numbers really need to go up because that's how we get our federal monies is based on population. We can think is however many we want to think is in Lincoln County, but the end result is what the census report is what we have to live and go by for the next 10 years. So it's really imperative that everybody's counted and we get this out over the next 5 or 6 weeks. And Facebook, social media,
Yes, sir.
Lincoln Journal, there's probably some ways that we can do it. Okay, with that being said, I'll go home and be sure that maybe we've gotten ours filled out. Any conversation about that? If not, is there a motion that we adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known, saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. We stand adjourned.